RC After Dark, episode 55, 54, something like that. And if you watched the Festivus special, yes. And that's okay. And also we made a special shirt. It's going to be backwards though. But well, you'll see it when it's normal. Anyways, I'm just getting it up on the TV. Make sure that you guys can, let's see here. All chat, I think that's all chat messages. Ward, whoa, Ward is here. Not really. Awesome, okay, let me get this thing working. There we go, whew, it's a big head. All right, enough messing around. We got Katie in the house, beautiful wife. She's mic'd up. G-rated. We got Russell McRussellson in the house wearing his fantastic shirt. He's in a rush today.
In a rush. It's minus 25.
All right, let me just flip you around here. Katie's on the phone. Fred, how are you? Flip you around. There we go. All right, Luna's also in the house because Katie's eating some food. That's the only reason Luna's out here. Stacy's not here, so normally that's the reason Luna's out here, but now it's just because Katie. All right, welcome to episode whatever it is, 54, 55. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And we're in the week now in between the weird period between New Year's and Christmas. It's cold here. Oh, yeah. It's brutal cold. I'm surprised Russell showed up today. I thought his vehicle wouldn't start, but it did. Yeah, it's today was like minus what, 22, something like that. 22 Celsius.
On the way out, it's minus 25.
Yeah, and the wind. It was really windy, or it is. I think the wind's died down a little bit, but it was really windy. And it feels like minus 30 something. It's really cold.
Wish we were in Arizona.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Updates. We got Starlink sitting over there in boxes. And you can imagine why it's still in boxes because it's minus 20 something outside. So I keep getting emails every single day from Starlink saying, please install our items. And they're still sitting there. So we haven't installed our Starlink yet. Hopefully when we get the Starlink up and running, our internet service goes up and is way better, and these live streams are better, and we get better service. So really not a whole lot going on. We finished the Aries Large. It's sitting over there. We'll take a look at it. There's still 2 more Aries videos to come out. The T33, I love looking at that thing. It's just been sitting there since we did the last live. And every time I walk into the shop and I look at it, I'm just love it. Absolutely love it. So it's beautiful to see it sitting there. And yeah, it's great. Amazing. Aries XL is in progress. Katie edited video 1 yesterday, video 2 today. I think video 1 is uploaded now to YouTube for channel members, so they get to see video 1 already. And video 2, it's done already or no?
It's done.
So video 2 will be uploaded probably tomorrow, and so those will be available for channel members to see. And currently working on video 3, which is the vector nozzle rear end, and we'll take a look at that as well too, which is right behind you guys. That's why I'm pointing that direction. So yeah, so that's kind of the updates. And so once the Aries is done, we will be starting on the A10, which is sitting right there in boxes. And the goal, I don't know if this is realistic, but the goal is to have it done before the end of next weekend. So I'm trying to finish this Aries by tomorrow. I don't know how realistic that is, but once tonight when the fuselage is ready to join together, the wings are already done, so we just have like some of the main stuff inside the fuselage. So I actually think it's pretty realistic to have this done for tomorrow. That's probably going to end up being 5 videos, I think, maybe 4, but realistically 5 for the Aries XL. And that means we would have a week to finish the Skymaster A10, which I think is very realistic. Although I still have to get the pilot from Warbird Pilot, so we'll be mostly done. But that's the goal. We've got the Carf beam showing up this coming week. So it's actually sitting at the border right now, and it should be here probably Tuesday. And the beam, that'll be the first beam that's been delivered to a customer. All the ones that you've seen flying at events and stuff have been the pre-production Carf versions. So it'll be really cool to see one of the first production beams here. And our goal is to get that going right after the A10. And yeah, so that's kind of the layout. After that, we're probably working on the Carf F4. And that should make social media and the channel blow up with angry people as well too, because we are still pulling all the servos out of that plane. And yeah, it's great. I love it. The drama over the past couple weeks has been amazing. It's so uplifting and exciting and funny, and it's hilarious. So it's pretty awesome. So I know as soon as we decide to pull the servos out of the F4, it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows and a lot of concerns, and people are going to be angry, and possibly manufacturers will be angry as well too, but that's okay because it's not your plane. So, and that's where my lovely wife made the shirt for me today in celebration of this. So if you watch the Festivus video,
Yes, the Festivus.
that's where that saying comes from. It's not your plane, and that's okay. So thank you. So that's basically it for the updates. If you guys have any questions, Katie is womaning the questions on her phone. What else? What else?
After the A10, are you going to start on the Mini?
Oh, let me guess, David's asking.
No, Carl.
Oh, Carl. Oh, Carl. That makes sense that Carl would be asking. After the A10, probably going to be the beam, because we want to get the beam delivered before the end of January. Maybe the Mini will come after that. So we'll see how things pan out, but I want to get the beam done for delivery, and then we'll probably work on the Mini or the F4. We'll take a look at the board here in a second, and I'm feeling actually really good about the projects we have left and finishing everything for the end of March. So I'm actually feeling pretty awesome, even though it doesn't always feel that way. So,
Oh, Stacy's on.
Stacy. So let's see here. So I've erased the Aries XL from the board. As soon as I start on a project, I like to erase it, so then at least I feel better. So all the red stars are the ones that we have to get done for the end of March. So we are going to get this one done, the A10, for the end of March, and the beam, or sorry, for the end of January, the beam for the end of January, and then we are going to have the Falcon, the Mini for March, the F4 XXL for March. My 2.8 Lancer is in the goal, or a goal. I'd also like to do the T33 for March. That's a goal as well too, but I'm not officially putting it in red. The Roban Super Cobra Heli for Greg, and that would be P47. So once the A10 and the beam are done, really the big road projects like a sports jet I can finish pretty quick, but like the F4 XXL, big project, the Roban Super Cobra, not huge, but still a pretty in-depth project, and the P47 is going to be an in-depth one. So I'm feeling pretty good about our list of projects, which is good because if I'm in a good mindset, that helps. So, looking for my monster. There it is. That's my unimpressed look. As my wife tries to keep it from me. All right. Flip you guys around. Again, if you have any questions or comments, list them. David said, awesome t-shirt, and that's okay. Nice. Katie, you're not womaning the comments. Cool. Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff coming, and there's a few more that we're working on right now to add to the list. So, Aries turned out so good. So excited to fly this. We've kind of got it stacked in there right now. Wing bags or wings are right behind. The elevator surfaces are right behind. I bought a hot knife, and I took this hunk of foam, and I took our saddles from Ben, like the little template for the saddles, those guys right there. And I drew them out on both sides of the foam, and I used the hot knife to cut it. And it actually worked out really well. And then I bought one of these guys when I was down in Texas. This fits on the nose perfectly, but it doesn't fit on the nose in this particular spot because it raises it up and hits the crossbar. But what I'm going to do is put a piece of rod in between the back and the front, and then that'll be joining those two pieces. So yeah, so really not a whole lot that I can show you on the Aries other than it's done. Vectored nozzle turned out so good, and so impressed with how everything worked out. There's a shot up the tailpipe. Beautiful. So yeah, pretty awesome stuff. Huge surfaces on that thing. On these Aries aircraft, the wings are nuts when it comes to the actual surface area. So Stacy loves the Starlink connection. Nice, thank you. Do you have Starlink, Stacy? I don't think you do you? Maybe you do, I don't know. There's a list of all of our decals that we installed.
We don't have it set up yet.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's saying he likes it. Yeah, the Starlink's not hooked up yet, Stacy. So this is still our crappy service. So, oh, David likes the stickers on the L. Yes.
That's actually a really good place for them too.
Yeah, they kind of look goofy, I think, anywhere else.
Tucked away
Yeah, the only other place I would kind of like one is maybe one right here.
on the white.
But I really like just the classy angles on it. David said, hint, hint, nice stickers on the L. Katie's on it, David.
I like that shot.
Yeah, the last live was like, because we had so many people at our house because we were having the Christmas party, it was not good. So yeah, it was not good. We will look at the XL. So XL, oh, I need to flip you around. XL, how does it feel? Oh, how does it feel? Is that your not impressed look? So the XL is going really well. We have, the tail section is complete. The turbine mount is installed, so that is all that's the permanent location for it. We still have to do some heat shielding in this area. So that is the front end. Really not a whole lot's happened in the front end. The wings are the wings are complete, and we've got our plugins here. So we've got a 9-pin and a 6-pin Ashlock plug-in. 9-pin is for the 3 surfaces, right? You've got 2 aileron servos and a flap servo. This is the gear plug-in, so there's 4 wires on that one. So that is basically pretty much the back end forward is complete. David said, thanks, Katie. The decals are nice. The rear section here, so our surfaces are done. Before we started the live, I just screwed the vectored nozzle on. So we've got our former work back here. This is the videos are going to be pretty detailed for this guy as well too. The former here you can see is inset a little bit, about 3/4 of an inch. And that's an important step, in my opinion, for this vectored nozzle. So the manual doesn't really cover much of this stuff because it's not the stock setup. So the vectored nozzle's on, we've got our holes cut, and then the last thing, or the main thing we've been working on today, is our wiring in the back end. So we've got our yaw servo mounted on the side. That's the Chaw 7010. We've got our pitch servo right there. I'll put the camera horizontal so you can see kind of the angle everything's at. And so the pitch servo, the carbon rod goes on this side of the arm and goes straight back to the hole. The yaw servo, the carbon or the ball joint goes on this side of the rod and goes straight back. And there's a nice amount of clearance in this area around the pipe. And then we've got our connectors here, the Ashlock standoff connectors. And the reason they're buried inside the fuselage like this, here's our connector. There is, what's that? 5 wires in there. So again, same kind of configuration. You've got your 2 for your vectored nozzle, 3 for your surfaces. So these plug in here. So if you want to, we'll leave this a little bit loose, but if you want to separate the fuselage, if we ever need to separate the fuselage, it can come apart a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 inches. Reach your hand in here, unclip, unclip, and that'll pull out. Now the reason I inset them like that is the end of our tailpipe is sitting here. So if you imagine it comes right down like this, so that gives the connectors and everything a nice amount of space behind any of the hot section, which is going to be essentially right here. So that's why we did it that way. There'll be a little bit of heat shielding added to the wires, but that is basically the setup. So happy with it. I think it turned out well.
Have they seen this?
I don't think so. I don't think well, they've seen it in the background. So this is the stand, the Fly-Rite benchtop stand that we had the Aries Mini sitting on for quite a while. Now these saddles were the ones that the Mini was sitting in, but these saddles are basically designed for they follow the same profile as the other Aries aircraft. So it's been really helpful having that stand for this thing to sit on because it makes working on it so much easier. And when we're doing the back end of this aircraft, I've probably put on and taken off the back end about, it's got to be 10 to 15 times, somewhere in that range, because you're playing with alignment on the pipe and alignment on the turbine, and it's a lot of work. So anyways, that stuff is all done. Here's our engine. So engine mount is in the fuselage. So this is the engine itself that was in the test video today. And the top clamp is sitting over on the bench, but you can see she's a monster, absolute monster. So very, very cool, impressive piece of kit. It was pretty neat to have a JetCat engine in the shop here. It's one of those things that we haven't had ever really for something brand new like that. So it's pretty neat to see and be able to test run that thing. So very cool, very, very cool. Aries rear surfaces are here. We've got our wing fences up there. They were painted yesterday, so we're still letting them dry before we put them on the wings. And there is the rudder and vertical stabilizers. And we also got an order of Chaw servos. What day is it? Saturday? Yeah, a couple days ago. If you're on Facebook, you would have seen it, but we got another order of Chaw servos, so our stock is pretty good right now. The 7010s are hard to get right now, so we don't have any in stock. We've used what we had on planes, but everything else we have decent stock on. The 4613s, as soon as we got those in stock, we sold, I think, 20 of them. And so we have 14 left or something like that. So anyways, we got Chaw servos back in stock. Sue, any questions, my dear?
Comments, questions?
You're on camera. Don't pick your nose.
Oh, here she comes. Nazaroni.
Nazi Poo.
The inspectors.
Hi, buddy. Watch out. Ooh. All right. Let's see here. Dean. Yes, I saw your comment, Dean, on it was either the video or Facebook. They are hard to get, but they're really nice aircraft. They're very nice aircraft. I'm really excited to fly the Ares L. I'm excited to see the XL flown. Yeah, it's one of those planes that I think is going to be really unique and quite spoiling, maybe. You know, when you go on knife edge and you don't have to do anything, it's going to be pretty amazing. So.
Yeah, it'll just hang forever.
This one?
Yeah.
Kenneth said, is the A10 going to have a BERT on it? No, no sound generator on the A10. So, good question though. Let's see here. Thanks, Katie. The decals are nice, not decals. We don't use decals. We use decals. Yes, Joe, thank you. Nice servo and ashlock holders there. Appreciate it. Carl said, where will the CB310 be mounted in the Ares XL? Good question, Carl. It's probably going to be very similar to the L. Obviously, you haven't seen the L videos yet because they're not out yet. So, so the L, the large, it came with a equipment plate. And that equipment plate we kind of installed about halfway up the fuselage, so about here. And it kind of covers this entire area. We put rails on there. I can't remember if it's in video 2, 3, or what it is. So I'm thinking for the XL, now it didn't come with a plate, so we have to cut our own. So I'm thinking about running it down here, so kind of flush with the landing gear mount type thing, coming back and mounting in this area. I have to see what I want to do with the equipment layout and everything. I like how I did it in the large because with it raised up, I made a plate down here for the gear mounting, and then all I have on the top deck is I've got the 310 and the central, or the Cortex. Everything else is below, so it kind of hides the mess. So I'm going to play with that a little bit, but we have to supply our own plate for that. And then the tank, of course, is going in this area for the fuel bag. So that really only comes to about where that pencil is, about there. So the fuel bag in the XL is much easier to fit than the L because of the extra width. Even though it's not a wide fuselage, it's substantially wider than the large. So, but that's tomorrow's plan. And yeah, we're probably, in the grand scheme of things, probably, I would say 70% done. We probably have 60% left. So, good question, Ward. Ward said, are you planning on painting the interior of planes? No. So anytime we're doing something insanely light or trying to make it as light as possible, like the Skywing Falcons, like the Ares aircraft, the large, the mini, the XL, although, and Ward knows, although it doesn't really add hardly any weight, when you're counting ounces, it matters. So we're not painting the inside of these aircraft that we're trying to keep crazy light. So the answer is no to your question.
Cheap like gear controller.
Yes. Nez is trying to bury your sandwiches. So we are using Chikoi gear controllers in the XL, and also the L has a Chikoi gear controller. Yeah, the new purple ones. It is a really nice unit. One of the benefits of the purple Chikoi LGC 25, I'll grab one so if you're not familiar, you know what it is. One of the benefits to that unit is you can put sort of whatever voltage you want into the unit, and the unit will adjust the voltage depending on what you tell it to. So in the past, with certain gear controllers, so I'll keep it in the package, but this is the one that we're using. So it's the LGC, this is going to be backwards on the screen, LGC 25H. The H, I think, just means yellow connectors. The non-H version, or maybe the L version, has like regular servo outputs. So anyways, benefit of this guy is with these Aries aircraft, we're using a Centrobox 310. So with the 310, we use three cell 4,000 milliamp batteries to power everything. So this is the battery setup for these planes. So all three batteries are the same. These are the same batteries we use on the scale aircraft. So one is for turbine, and the other two are for the Centrobox 310. So these plug into the 310. The 310 reduces the voltage to whatever you tell it to, so the max is 8.4 volts. So we're reducing the voltage to 8.4 volts. So our servos are always operating the same. They always feel the same. If you plug a 2-cell LiPo in after the first flight, the voltage drops.
Fades fast.
Yeah, it is noticeable, depending on your flying and what kind of aircraft it is. So anyways, the LGC 25 from Chikoi, you can run, we run the 3-cell LiPo right into that gear controller, and then we say the output is 8.4 volts or whatever it is. So on my large, as an example, I said the output voltage should be 8.4 volts. On the XL, we're using NG gears. So as David mentioned, Electron ER50 NGs, so the red Electron gears. I have one of those.
And what is the difference between just a
The NGs have a better motor.
stronger motor?
So that's all, yeah, that's all it really is. When you operate these, you can notice a difference. They are very, very nice landing gear. So anyways, the NGs operate at 3-cell LiPo. So when we use this gear with this controller, we'll say operate at 12.6 volts. So that's how it's all jiving
Much quicker
together.
of a system under that power.
That all comes down to gear ratio,
I guess.
but it can be, yeah, like they just have more power is what it is really. So the ER50 NGs are not a whole lot extra money, like they're a couple $100 more, whatever that ends up working out to. If you try and get the ER40s, so the ones that were in the Aries L, if you try and buy those in the NG gear, the motors are insanely expensive, and generally they're not even available. So getting the ER40 NGs is not usually possible, but the ER50s is possible. So yes, long answer to Chikoi gear controller. Oh, and I had one sitting in the parts box. Could I just grab that one? All right, Chad, what are you doing on here? Chad is in Mexico right now.
Yeah.
He's wishing he was in Canada here at the live. Don't you, Chad? I bet you really do. Yeah, it's only minus 23 here, buddy. I'm sure it's probably plus 30 where you are. There we go. All right, so we're all caught up with comments, I think, unless you have any other ones. There's 46 people here right now, and I only see 23 of these. So make sure you give the video, the live, the whatever it is, a thumbs up. I haven't seen it change. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
How do we do that?
Oh, there we are, 24. You see, even Katie didn't do it. Let's see here. So, I don't know how to do it, but I know you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, you've always been on the front end.
What happens if you give me a heart? Does it pop up? Heart, 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 heart. Oh, look at all these hearts I'm getting from myself. I don't think it does anything. I don't know. No idea. No idea.
Oh, here.
What? Oh yeah, there you go. Let's see. Oh yeah, you gotta have the chat closed. See, look, look. See? Thumbs up. That's how you do it. Thumbs down. Boo. Servo test. Yay! Let's see. I do not miss the Canadian winters. I agree. I don't miss it either. I wish I didn't have to deal with it. Are you getting a Skywing Falcon 2.4 meter? Yes, we have the CHA Servo Scheme one showing up. It should be shipped out to us mid-January-ish, and it'll be here probably near the end of January-ish. Yeah, Carl, most of the programming is very similar to the Falcon, but when you watch the L videos, so the next one's coming, videos 3 and 4, I get into programming the ailerons and flaps working together. So we've got full span ailerons in regular flying mode and in high rate mode. So it's going to be really wild to fly with that because it'll be crazy powerful. So I'm just taking the mic off, Katie.
You can just leave it on there.
Yeah, so that's the, you'll see more programming stuff with the L video. Word keeps commenting but retracting his messages. LGC 15 discontinued? I don't think so. Let's go. Let's go see. Whoa, sorry, earthquakey. Let's go see. Take you guys into the parts bins. Ready? Oh, look at that. What do we got here? Well, we got a LGC 15 and LGC 22, 22, 22. Anybody need any LGC 22s? I don't know if they're discontinuing it or not, but this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, other than maybe the cost. I don't know what the costs are, but this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense compared to the LGC 25. But yeah, I don't know if they're discontinuing them or not. So there you go. There's your answer. Yes, replaced by the LGC 25. Cloud Xero. What do you think of the Jets Munts? Just bought a 166. They're nice engines. I mean, at the end of the day, quite honestly, they're all good. They all have issues, and that's basically it. None of them are perfect. You're gonna have, you do this long enough, and you're gonna have issues with every engine. I've sent back Swiwins, I've sent back Kingtechs, I've sent back Chicois. They all have issues. They all are going to fail at some point. So at the end of the day, the Jetsmunts are nice engines as well. Really what it comes down to is service. So that's a huge thing. And that is constantly changing. You look at, I'm going to be careful what I say, but yeah, when it comes down to it, maybe look at the service end of things and where you need to send it. That's really what matters the most. So, oh, there we go. Jetsmunts are great turbines, David said. Just be patient with service if needed. What are the lightest servos and gears? Ooh, good question. The lightest servos, that's a hard question because you've got different servos for different purposes. So like some of the servos, the micro servos will be the lightest ones. I mean, we've got that, that small tiny Chaw servo, which is like, I mean, I forget what model it is, but it's like a microscopic servo,
that's
right?
The one Chad was looking
Yeah,
at.
teeny little, like it's, I mean, the thing is like,
A little bit bigger than the,
I think it's about this size, right? Like it's that big. It's crazy how small that thing is. It's over in the box.
Full's like $2.5 grand.
Yeah.
Kilos too. I'm like,
So it really depends on the purpose. If you look at a standard size servo, you know, MKS has some short servos, some short stack servos, and Chaw also has the 3512s, which is a short servo. The thing about those short servos is you've got, sometimes like with the Chaw servos, just as much power as a full-size servo. So you're saving, if you put your whole plane together with those servos, you can save quite a bit of weight. You know, you're talking about half a pound to a pound in weight, depending on what servos you're comparing it to as the full-size ones. So that's a tough question to ask or answer depending on the scenario you're in. So, Carl said I had a Jetsmunts 166 in my Rebel Classic, and it was a great engine. Yes, I think I had a Merlin 170 Jetsmunts. I think it was a Jetsmunts Merlin. I think that's who made it. A Merlin 170 in my F18, and that was a really nice engine. I was very old, but it was a very nice engine and ran quite well. And I don't even know where it is today. I think I sold it to somebody.
yeah, you were really sad when you had to sell that for the
Yeah.
airplane.
So anyways, it was nice. It was nice, ran well. There we go. Awesome. I can't think of anything else to share with you guys. Questions, bring them on. Questions.
Bring some heat.
Now's the time to ask. This is the last time in a year. In 2025, you'll be able to ask questions.
Get all your tax information done now.
Oh, you get T1 jets. We have never had a T1 jets here in the shop, but
See them.
possibly we'll have a F22 arriving at the end of January from T1, their big one, and possibly their quarter scale F18 coming at some point as well too. So in the future, maybe. What? Yeah, the F-22, it is one of my favorite planes. We had what was the one that fell through? What was that name? Fred Pan's company.
Oh, yeah, don't know the name of the company.
They still owe Chad, who's on here, some money. They owe him quite a few thousands of dollars. Anyways, the company that was putting together the big F-22, we got our money back in time. Chad did not get his money back, so they still owe him money. Wind RC.
Yeah.
They were doing a huge F-22, and I was really excited for that, but their technology and their skill level of building was not so good. So I was really excited for that F-22, but unfortunately it fell through. Rodeo Pilot 7495 said, do you know if there's an insurance company that will insure a RC turbine jet? I would say no, probably not.
Maybe in the States, I've heard of this kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, I've kind of heard of it as well too. I don't know of anybody that has successfully done it. Because I think,
to see the policy.
yeah,
It'd be a lot of money to insure it.
I think so.
Yeah, a couple $1,000 bucks.
And I think they would, after a couple crashes, or I mean thefts, they'd probably catch on pretty quick. Sorry, I keep losing an airplane every week. They just keep getting stolen. suddenly your insurance rate goes up like crazy, right? So, Carl Hines, how are you liking the 3D jets? That's a great question, Carl, and thank you for asking that. Honestly, if you would have asked me a year ago, I think you guys know my answer to that. It's not really my thing. Now, I am loving the 3D jets, and I'll tell you why. Because you can take the plane off. It's built very light, which is nice. They're generally overpowered, which is great. But you can take the thing off and you can just fly it around like a normal sports jet. And then if you want to do something different, you turn the vectored nozzle on, you slow it down, and you can just have fun with it. And you can just flip back and forth. So I am really, really enjoying the 3D planes. And just looking at my fleet for this year, more than half will be vectored nozzle jets. Like we've got the Ares L, which is vectored, 3D plane. We've got the Atom, or Lancer 2.1, which isn't set up powerfully enough for vectored, but it has its vectored nozzle on there still, so we can still tumble, we just can't hover. We've got the 2-meter Falcon, 2.1 meter Falcon, hover jet. We've got my 2.8 meter Lancer, which will be here in probably mid-January. It's arriving in port mid-January or something like that. So it should be here pretty quick. And that will have a 300 Newton engine in it. And it is going to be a vector jet. So that's 4 vector jets. And then I've got my Picaro 2.0, which is not a vector jet. Tons of fun to fly, but all you can do is this, right? I've got my BDX, which I love, but all you can do is this. And that's it. So I'm really enjoying it. I really am, and it's tons of fun. It just gives you more options. And now that I've done quite a bit of hovering, flat spins, tumbles, that kind of stuff, it's more comfortable. The first time I did it, I was stressed to the max, and it gets your heart racing for sure. But it's tons of fun once you get comfortable with it. So great question. Kenneth, do you have a roundabout price on a turboprop? Just the engine, you're going to have to look at the different manufacturers. I know Chikoi is no longer making their turboprops. I think they're still making their heli engines, but they're not making their turboprops anymore. KingTech, I think the only options now are KingTech and JetCat for turboprop engines. They're always more money, so you have to keep that in account as well. So, Stacy said, how many servos does the CARF Course Air require? So the Course Air, I haven't dug into it yet, but we can take a look at it. As far as flying surfaces go, you've got aileron, aileron, flap, 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 elevator, elevator, rudder. Tail, I think, operates off rudder, but we'll just say the tail's separate. So that's all the surfaces. And then you've got throttle and choke. So that's the servos, so you'll need 12 servos. And then you've got doors. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. The back is opening with the legs. So that's 4 servo doors. So that's 16. And you've got a linear actuator on the canopy, so that's 17. Right. So there's a fair number of surfaces on that.
And if you put lights in, and if you put telemetry with engine temp in it.
Cloud Xero, is flying 3D harder on turbines? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You think about a prop plane, you come in and you want to hover, and you go like this, and I'm not great at hovering prop planes. Come in, you hover, and you don't like what you're doing, you just throttle up and just go out, right? You do that on a jet, and you're going to be way behind that throttle curve. Even though the turbines are very, very fast, you have to be on that throttle curve constantly. And it took me quite a while to get used to that. Where's my funny little jet? I think it's outside.
Oh, your stick jet, yeah.
Yeah, I'll use this guy though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll use Goldie. So you come in for, let's say you're going to hover your jet, right? you got to come in slow because you gain elevation no matter what you do. So let's say you're 20 feet above the ground, you come in, you pull up, you go into hover mode, and now you're 100 feet in the air. If you wait for the plane to start stopping and then you go to throttle up, your plane's going to do this. So you almost have to come in slow, pull up, the plane's coming to a stop, and then about 4 seconds before that, you're on the throttle. So it's a bit of a weird situation of controlling that delayed throttle. It's great practice. It really makes this thing work, and it's been really a lot of fun. And then, of course, one of the things I finished with last year was coming vertical, doing a snap into a flat spin. So when you're doing that, you're kind of going up with no power, snapping the airplane, but you're adding power before you do that. So when you come out of the snap and you're horizontal, now you've got rudder authority with your vectored nozzle, so you're sideways and you're basically spinning it around with throttle. So it's a really weird experience, but it's tons of fun. I'm loving it. Good question. What turbine is in the Lancer that it won't hover? So I had a 190 in the Lancer. I pulled that 190 out to put in the Falcon, and now the Atom or the Lancer has a Chicoy 132. So when you want to hover, you have to have like 1.2 as far as your number goes. So my Lancer with no fuel weighs 22 pounds. So with fuel, it's going to weigh 28 pounds-ish. A 132 at sea level, you're getting about 34 pounds of push, 34 pounds of push. At our elevation though, we're getting a 15 to 25% reduction. So maybe when it's very low on fuel at full throttle, you might be able to hover, but you want to be hovering in that 50% throttle to 60% throttle range. So yeah, you want to have more power than you need, because then if you need to pull out of the hover, that's when you need the extra power. So Cloud X Aero, is Chicoy going out of business? No, not at all. David said, I'm enjoying 3Ding, hovering, tumble, flat spins. It's fun, it's just different. That's perfectly well said, David, absolutely. Do you still use the Chicoy balancer? Yes. When you see the last video in the Aries project, I'm using my Chicoy balancer with the RC CG machine up there. With a plane like that, because there's a lot of calculations going on and a lot of figuring with the CG, it's easier to do it with the electronic device. Let's see here. Afterburner, it's also harder on the turbine itself depending on the maneuver. Yes, absolutely. By no means am I saying it's good for your turbine. If you're doing flat spins and you're doing snaps on your turbine and stuff, it's
very hard.
Yeah, if you think about if you've ever taken a wheel, a bicycle wheel, and like off the bike and spun it, and you could take one hand off that bicycle wheel and hold the end of the wheel, centrifugal force. Now usually what happens if you're standing on a spinning platform and you're doing that, you'll find that you spin just by that wheel rotating. Well, it's the gyroscopic forces of that wheel making you spin. So when you have a turbine spinning at 50 to 150,000 RPM, that's a lot of force on that spinning thing when you decide to go like this really fast or whatever it is. So even hard pulls on turbines, like when I do my square loops and pull really hard, it's really hard on turbines. So don't be surprised if your turbine seizes or you have to send it in for service at 6 hours instead of 25 hours. That's probably going to happen. And yeah, and you look at any turbine manufacturer and they'll all tell you the same thing. Don't use our turbine for 3D or hovering or whatever. It's just, nobody recommends it, but it's one of those things that if you want to do it, you take that chance that something's going to break. So Ryan said, are you planning on putting the wing bracing outlets on the Aries XL? Yes. So I did the wing fences, I put them on my L, and we also painted them for the XL as well. So they came in white and they're sitting right here. So I painted them black yesterday, so they're still a little soft. So we're just letting them dry 100%, but we do plan on putting the wing fences on. I saw, and Ryan, you know, I don't think yours has them, but I've seen guys online flying with them, guys online flying without them. I like the look of them better, and I think they do serve a purpose.
Yeah, they do.
So that's why we decided to put them on. Rodeo Pilot said, do you think the K2 260 G5 is good for the Falcon, 2.5 meter to hover? Power-wise, yes, that'll be a great engine for the 2.4 meter Falcon. We will be putting a Chikoi 240 in the Chaw Servo one that we have coming. The 260 will be gobs of power as well. Whether the turbine can withstand that's I kind of already answered that. It's probably going to fail, just like every other turbine brand. It's probably going to fail. So that's just, again, the nature of it. So. I'm laughing at our cat. Good questions, you guys. That's awesome.
In-depth questions.
So Ryan said, it's up to the pilot with them on. The plane will be a little more stable for straight line and pattern style flight. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm after for, overall. When I watch you fly, that's not me, man. Not me at all. With them off, it's better for 3D vectoring. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
It'll allow the wind.
It'll allow, exactly. It will allow the wing to move, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we put them on. I'd pull mine out, but it's a bit of a pain. We put them on with Shoe Goop, or E6000, and it actually turned out beautifully. You guys will see it if you're watching the Aries build series. So I think I did it in video 3. I think it was in number 3. Yeah, we put them on, taped beside the wing fences, ran E6000 down each side, peeled off the tape, and they're just like invisible glue holding them on. It's really nice. It turned out really good. So just patting myself on the back that it turned out really nice. So yeah, so that's it, guys. Well, the Oilers and Flames are starting in 5 minutes. So it's time to... Yeah, time to add those final questions. We got like a few minutes left here and we'll cut off the live. It's been a really fun 2025. Just to highlight some of the trips that we took this year, we started off with our March trip to, actually, you know what? We started off with a trip in February, I think it was February, to my late friend Kelly's funeral service. I believe that was February or January. I can't remember when that was. His paper's in the drawer there, but yeah, so that was kind of the first trip we took. And when we took that trip, we brought back the Corsair, which was awesome. We went down to Phoenix to Tucson for the Tucson Jet event, and that was in March, and that was a wonderful trip. And love that event, love that field. It's great. It's also nice to escape our cold weather and go down there and have some nice weather. Where did we go after that? I think after that it was June when we went to Montana for our little private event where we became members of the Montana Jet Club, Glacier RC. So we went there and we flew and had our little private event, which was fun. We came back to the event in Lethbridge, and so that was right after the event in Montana, which was awesome. So that was in June as well too, June, July kind of thing. Mid-July, we went to Towfield Jets, which is our paved runway that is about 3 hours north of us. That was a great event as well too. Looking at Katie for some inspiration here on the other events. There were some other ones thrown in there. Yeah, Saskatoon, which sucked this year because of the rain. The event was amazing. The facility is amazing. The monsoon was terrible. We went to Jet Power in September, which was one of the highlights of the past 10 years. It was amazing. Me and Katie got to go a few days early, and we toured Germany and stuff and did some great excursions. It was phenomenal. Jet Power was amazing. Seeing the castles in Germany and stuff was outstanding. So,
LA Jets.
yeah, that was cool. LA Jets, exactly. We went to that.
It was too hot.
No, LA Jets was nice. We still had fun, even though nobody showed up. So, I think that's it.
And then you went down to Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Turbines and Tumbleweeds, Texas. Good call, Russell. That was in October. So that was kind of our 2025. It was a great year. It's winter here now. We're working on tons of projects, as we've talked about. We've got a few in the deadline in the queue for the end of January, and then our next deadline is March. And then we have a bunch just to work on over the winter or over the summer. The plan is to finish some of the outstanding items. So the T33, we're going to get that hopefully ready for March, for the end of March for Tucson. We've got another Corsair coming, which is going to be a match to that one. And we're going to do them in the same schemes and stuff. So hopefully we're working on 2 Corsairs at the same time. And yeah, it's been a great 2025. Looking forward to 2026. Hopefully we can find another topic that we can create some more drama on. Because I tell you what, my Facebook channel, I think I was at 18,000, what do you call them on Facebook?
Views or what?
No, like
Followers?
followers. Yeah, I think on Facebook it's followers. And in the past 2 weeks, we've gone from like 18,000 to 22,000 followers on Facebook just because of all the drama. It's amazing. I love it. So all you haters out there, I love you guys. You guys are so good. And you fans are amazing too. You know, if you get haters that are commenting, just poke them. Poke them a little bit, make them comment more and more, because all it does is good things. So, love it. Oh, Joe Knoll. We went to Joe Knoll.
Right, you in May.
That was May?
Yeah. And it was raining when you got
March,
there. It
April,
was
May.
muddy.
Oh yeah, that was just before going to, okay, yeah, thank you. See, I knew there was stuff we forgot. Man,
That's a big one.
crazy. Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the lives. I enjoy this as well, and it's tons of fun. Yeah, it's great. So I enjoy this aspect. Our After Dark channel, we've had some great people on that After Dark channel, which is me and Anthony's podcast channel. Love that as well too. It's great just sitting down with people and having good conversations. If you're not familiar with what that is, just look up the RC Air experience, or I think I said After Dark, that's what this is. Yeah. The RC Air experience is so much fun. We just had Joel and Melanie Vlashoff. I think I'm butchering their last name, but Joel does the VTOL, or vertical takeoff and landing planes. So you probably have seen his stuff. He's been working on an F-35, and they've got a bunch of other ones. So it's great to have him on. And we had Ivan from Turbines and Tumbleweeds as well too. And great to have him on as well too. And everybody else that we've had some amazing guests. I think we just did episode 35. So it's been awesome. It's been a neat experience as well too. And that's starting to pick up steam. Yes, went to Miami Jets as well. Thank you guys.
November, yeah.
Yeah.
You're too busy.
I'm too busy. So it was a great year of traveling. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. And the next live we'll see you will be in 2026. It'll be 2 weeks from now, and we'll see you there. How do I end this thing? I push that button right there.